The Joe Rogan Experience.
There's no accountability, and that's a real problem in this country. And that used to be something that the left feared. The left used to fear corporate interference and big business and big government. They used to fear that. They used to fear all that stuff, and now they're all in on it.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, and for me, I'm a huge, First Amendment is so important, right? That's, if you don't have that, you don't have anything.
Well, you don't have a job.
Yeah.
Without it.
Right.
I don't either.
No, of course. I would be in jail a long time ago.
Think about what they're putting people in jail for in England. Just posting things on Facebook.
But I get shit from both sides for depending on what I'm defending in terms of the something being constitutional. Obviously with the left, it's like, what also was crazy to me is a lot of the same people were the Trump is Hitler people were also the hate speech laws people.
Right.
Which is like, how can you think this government that's led by Hitler should be in control of what you can and can't say? That doesn't make sense to me. But sometimes flag burning has to be constitutional, because you have to be able to buy a flag, and if you can't burn a flag you bought, come on, that's government protest. You have to be able to do that. I don't like it. I would never do it, but you shouldn't put people in jail for it.
Yeah, Trump said he wants to put people in jail for a year.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, dude. It's like, you know what I mean? He got shot. He looked awesome when he got shot. If I got shot, I would not look that cool.
Right.
Fist pumping.
Fight.
No, I'd be like,
pretty gangster.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
When he got shot, I was like, oh, that he won. I really thought after he got shot, I was like, he just won the election.
Well, I think they did too. That's why they shuffled Biden out and put Kamala in.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and they're like, let's just gaslight these motherfuckers into a coma and push this through.
Yeah, I think so too. Because
100%. If they had a full year of Kamala versus Trump, like a full year of her running and doing interviews, we'd have a much
and
more
talking.
Yeah. We'd have a much more balanced understanding of who she is and how this is going to look and what's going to be like if she becomes president.
Absolutely.
Because right now people are just riding on gas. They're they're fucking riding on gas.
But it's so powerful, and you can see it. Everybody's in on her. That's really powerful. People are excited about her. Alexa's in on her.
That Alexa thing's crazy.
Pop culture, everyone's in on it, and it's also, we're in this. I hate election years, because it's just like, if you don't vote for blank, this whole country is gonna go down. But both sides say it, so it's just like, whoever wins, it's gonna be shitty and just in different ways, and maybe some of the same ways. It's just not.
What do you think would be the shittiest? Not in terms of for the country, but in terms of people's reaction. Do you think more violence will take place if Trump gets in office, or more violence will take place if Kamala gets in office? Because I anticipate there's going to be some craziness after the election.
Of course.
Once someone decides, whoever someone is, whoever's president, whenever it gets decided, there's going to be some madness.
Yeah.
There's going to be some real madness. And I get scared of that kind of stuff too, because I know that a lot of times when people do that, they think they're making a point. But boy, if you're against government control, those kind of real angry riots and protests are an amazing opportunity for them to clamp down on your rights.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When that happens, it's like, okay, well then we need to federalize police and this and that. It's like, it's crazy. I really do. I am concerned about it for the same reasons. Absolutely. And it's going to be bad no matter what, in terms of the reaction of the other side. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm like, I can't wait for this election to be over, and then I'm like, oh, it's going to be even worse.
Yeah, it probably will. Especially if you believe the conspiracy theories that some of that stuff is funded. Some of that stuff is organized. Some protests and riots, they seem to be organized, right? And I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist, but there is a thing called an agent provocateur. It's always existed. And they send people in to disrupt protests and turn them violent and make things chaotic. That's always been the case, especially if they want to push a very specific agenda that, the people are fed up and they're angry. And so remember when the George Floyd riots were going on and they'd find pallets of bricks just laying around?
Yeah, well, that was crazy because
some people had reasons for certain bricks being in places.
Yeah.
But there was a few of them where they're like, people just said that they just got dropped off there. And that's exactly where everything popped off. Why are there pallets of bricks? There's never just pallets of bricks laying around.
No, I have no idea.
But if you were going to organize a riot wouldn't you just
I'd bring
leave some bricks?
I'd bring some bricks.
I'd leave some bricks.
For my riot, yeah.
If I was like, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're organizing. We're spending all this money to get these college kids to invest in this. Then we're gonna bring in Antifa, and they're gonna go crazy. And we're handing out masks, and then we're gonna leave bricks around.
And I also think it's sad because I think that there were definitely legitimate points to be made and are about criminal justice, I think.
Sure.
But boy, was that handled the war. I mean, so they go from that to people setting buildings on fire, and then CNN doing the mostly fiery but mostly peaceful with the famous. It's like, come on, you don't got to defend that.
Right.
Like nobody, like people, you look ridiculous.
Exactly.
But then it got completely bungled. And so in the name of criminal justice reform, now it's like people who are actual violent criminals can be allowed out easier. Nobody wanted that.
Right.
So then now the pendulum's going to swing in the other direction where, it's going to be even more law and order, and it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be rights at stake, civil liberties at stake, which is what this was supposed to be all about to begin with.
Well, this is the ultimate goal of, I mean, again, I'm not saying this is happening, but this would be the ultimate goal of a communist dictatorship. You cause chaos, you step in to stop the chaos, you install new rules to make sure that there's no more chaos anymore, you protect, you cause a problem, you bring up a solution, that solution allows you to gain more control, and you just keep doing it. You keep doing it until you have ultimate control over the people.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's happening either, but in general,
it's moving that way.
In general, the fear is used by the government a lot.
Right.
It's really, I mean, even going back to talking about war and national security, and we need to do this. Next thing you know, I mean, look at the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
I mean, people were like, you have to be able to protect you, doing this, banning TikTok, all these things, and you look into what they're really doing and the power that it would really give them. It's like, oh, this isn't about really just banning TikTok.
What did Kamala Harris say recently about Elon Musk and Twitter having to follow the same rules as Facebook?
Yeah, what did she? I don't know. I didn't hear. What did she say? It was
something about how Elon's going to have to follow the same rules
like says
as Facebook.
Who? That's so
well, first of all, what
rules? Yeah.
Hey, and also, didn't Mark Zuckerberg just come out with a statement saying that he regretted giving in to the government's request to take down COVID-19 information?
Yeah.
And then
and
the Hunter
laptop,
Biden laptop story. He just came out with there was a big statement.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, they were really furious about it. Claim. A video clip portrays Harris saying that she will shut down X. I don't think she said she would shut it down. If she wins the 2024 presidential election and Musk has lost his privileges, the fact that's false. Harris was referring to Trump long before Musk and Twitter rebranded it as X. So is that what she was saying from that video? So was the video her saying that why should Twitter be allowed to have Trump on if Facebook can't have him on? Is that what it is?
When I'm looking for the video, all I'm seeing is like within the last 24 hours, posts a claim is false.
Right, but that is not what we were talking about, though. We were talking about something slightly different. Let me see if I can find it for you.
Does she want to shut down X?
No. I'm not saying that she said she would shut it down. What I'm saying is that she was saying that why should Twitter not have to follow the same rules that are being followed by Facebook?
Right, what I typed in was Kamala Harris Twitter rules, so that's the videos that were popping up. And
Here, I'm sending it to you right now, Jamie. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, so I need to know what she's referring to here, but listen to this statement.
Yeah, I think this is from that.
Go ahead and play it. Let's see what it says.
Hold on.
So she's probably talking about Trump being on Twitter. Is that what it is?
So she was talking to Jake Tapper. So we'll see
right.
If that's what this is.
That you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation, and that has to stop.
Okay, right away.
Yeah.
There's no way to misconstrue that.
What does that mean?
Oversight and regulation for free speech is ridiculous.
Yeah, totally.
Just that alone, there's no way to misconstrue that, right? What she was saying is what I was thinking she was saying. She was saying she wants government oversight and regulation for social media. That's crazy.
It's crazy for anyone to want it, because if the only reason you want it, right, is because you agree with the ideological bent of the platform, wait until someone else is in charge of it, or wait until there's a different government in charge.
It's also saying that the very thing that Mark Zuckerberg regrets should be happening. Like, she's essentially saying, why should they have different rules for Facebook than they do for Twitter? Like, what rules? Like,
what rules?
We don't have rules. We have First Amendment rights of free speech.
I think it actually is even crazy that he's admitting that, you know?
Well,
I mean, good for him, absolutely.
Trump said something pretty scary for him. He said that if he finds out that he interfered with the election, he's going to be in jail for the rest of his life.
That's pretty scary.
That's pretty fucking scary, because it's very likely that he might wind up being the president. And if he winds up being the president and they start investigating this stuff, if I was Mark Zuckerberg, I'd be pretty fucking freaked out by that statement, because it is election interference. For sure, whoever was running Twitter who gave in to the FBI's request to take down the Hunter Biden laptop story, they definitely interfered with the way people voted. Because if people found out that that laptop was legitimate and all that stuff was true, there's a certain percentage, I don't know what the number is, but there's a certain percentage of people that were maybe on the fence, and that could have influenced their vote one way or another. And it could have given Trump fuel, because he could have been talking about it. See, I told you that this was real, and they've been lying. And it would also prove that Biden lied during the debates.
I don't understand how anybody didn't think it was real, though. Because Hunter never even denied. Like, he was there, when all those people signed that letter. All those intelligence
51
people.
51 former intelligence agents.
51 signed it. Guess who didn't sign it? Hunter Biden. Right? That's what I thought from the. I was like, okay, if that was me, and someone was saying there was a laptop going around of me, you know, doing all this shit, banging all these people on camera and smoking all these drugs, I'd be like, that. I would be in, like, that was not me. I would be like, you know, that'd be pretty important for me to come out and say that.
If it happened today, you could claim it was AI. Easy.
Well, that's out there with everybody, me included, sadly.
Forever.
Yeah,
and not only that, it's going to change and get way more complex.
And there's nothing you can do about it, because you knock it down, it's like whack-a-mole. It's like, then there's another one, then there's another one.
There's nothing you can do about that. But that, you know, with all this stuff, this talk, like that, whatever she was saying right there is not what you want to hear from somebody.
No.
You don't want to hear they're going to censor social media.
They were talking specifically about Senator Warren talking about banning President Trump's account, and that was her response to it.
Yeah, but she was also talking about oversight. She talked about oversight very specifically and clearly.
Yeah, it has the quote right here.
Yeah.
And what's the rule that she's talking about?
The same rule should apply, which is there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation, and that has to stop. That's all you need to hear. Like, that right there is not something you want to hear from someone who respects the First Amendment. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Also, who's they?
Right.
It's just a collection of people.
Not only that, if you're talking about oversight and regulation, are you talking about the exact same people that were trying to get Twitter, and successfully did get Twitter, to take down the Hunter Biden laptop story and make it impossible to share that video, saying that it was misinformation when it was not? And if you don't do anything to correct and to hold people responsible that pushed out that misinformation, and no one's punished for it, and there's no retribution, there's no repercussions at all.
Right.
Like, what are you saying then? Then what are you saying? It's okay if your side says things that aren't true, and you can regulate in a way that's not based on fact or reality, but based on a result that you want to take place, and that's fine? So we don't have freedom of speech.
No, of course not.
Then you're talking nonsense. This is talking crazy talk. Maybe she believed it was real back then. Maybe she believed it was real. Who knows? Maybe she believed it was important that but if you got a hold of the Twitter files and you see what Michael Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi and all those people that went through that stuff with a fine-tooth comb, the stuff that they found out should make you realize, like, no, you can't have the government tell you what you can and can't say. They don't always tell the truth. They're often influenced. Sometimes you have rogue actors. You probably have one or two people that's responsible for making the call to Facebook or to Twitter. So it's on them. Mm-hmm. It's on these people with whatever fucking influence that they have and whatever people are talking to them behind the scenes.